Alright, hello everyone. Did you guys miss offline school where you guys are getting the opportunity to meet and interact with your friends or your teachers? Have you all heard the news about the reopening of blended learning, which includes online and offline? So, in the early of September 2021, the government has finally reopened and transformed online school since March 16, 2020 into blended learning, which includes both of them. Blended learning will be planned maximal 2 times per week and 2 hours per day by implying the health protocols from each facilities and prioritizing the even distribution of vaccine in several schools. As being reported from Metro.com, the Secretary of Bekasi City Educational Office, Chrisman, stated that the Bekasi has just started to apply for an offline school in the rural areas as a trial at the 6th of September, which Bekasi has reopened 356 public schools and 255 private schools based on their alphabetical order. I kindly support the act of government to reopen for the secondary and senior high school level rather than for the kindergarten, since most of the teenager that ranges the age from 12 until 7 years old are fully vaccinated, especially for several senior and junior high school in rural areas which had the least COVID cases and barely had enough fund to support their online learning tools, such as the internet connection, limitation of quota, the limitation of gadgets they had, and supporting home environment, sudden blackout, or the inaccessibility of digital literacy, which it leads to learning loss. And it's also correlated to the statement from Saiful Huda as the leader of commission from DPR, reporting from Liputan6.com, stated that online learning only works effectively 30 until 45%. Wow, although it have been 1.5 years. So as a result, the blended method between online and offline learning has become a breakthrough to prevent an educational crisis and being able to tackle those problems. So here are four main reasons why conducting a blended of online learning is the best solution for our next education system. So, number one, teachers can monitor students' learning development through interaction, which allows them to aid and assure students in order to understand the topic that are being taught, which previously technical issues have always been an obstacle, which it leads students to be unfocused, stressful, and being left behind in their studies. Or students also previously tend to feel anxious to be asking in the online meeting session. But it will also effectively work if the student can reach out to the teachers directly, which the number of activeness if the students can will gradually increasing. It is highly recommended for high school students who are still confused about their future studies in university. So most of them will be needing insight or enlightenment directly from the counselor or homeroom teacher regarding their next step to their dream university. Secondly, teacher will be able to inform important announcement whether they're about academic, which students can listen to the detail of information from the teacher's explanation about the topic that are being taught, which are not in the PPD or other additional information, because sometimes students can be tend to unfocused, disconnected, or unintentionally listen to the teacher's announcement. So as a result, teacher will be able to ensure that each of the students are listening carefully without asking the teacher to re-explain from the beginning due to the technical issues or informing in the group chat. It also helps the teacher to explain the whole material without having a time limitation or disconnecting from the Zoom. Alright, and also students can listen and study clearly or focusedly. So it might help students to do public speaking or present in front of the class when they're assigned a group of presentation without any internet distraction or sudden raise or unwanted sounds. Thirdly, students will be able to interact with each other without spending too much time on the laptop screen, which sounds boring and unhealthy both for our physics and our mental health. It is also correlated it is also correlated to the improvement for each student's learning development, whereas students tend to become more energetic and less stressed when they're getting to meet all their friends, which has been separated since March 16, 2020. During online meeting, we cannot generalize that all students have peaceful mind and supporting home environment in their own house. Reporting from BBC.com regarding the survey from the Ministry of Women Empowerment and Child Protection that conveyed 3,200 correspondents towards 34 provinces, which demonstrated that girls are most likely to get stressed and mad easily, which showed the number of 93 of them ranging from the 14 until 18 years old, and the remaining 7% of them ranging from the age of 10 until 13 years old. So, as a result of blended and offline learning, socialization can ease the symptoms of depression due to meeting their own friends. Fourth, the last but not least, both students and teachers can save internet quotas or network. For some families who live in a rural area, it might be hard to afford internet quotas or networks and tend to prioritize their own daily needs such as food, clothes, and other things, especially when conducting an online meeting for the whole day, which is pretty pricey. Based on the article from Chermati.com, the amount of quota needed for an hour is 1 gigabyte. 1 gigabyte costly about 16,000. How about the whole day or the whole week? And based on itnesia.com, the cost of Wi-Fi per month from IndiHome Dual Play 10 Mbps Promo Learning is around 169,000. The amount of money can be used for groceries, while online meetings are required to ensure students listen and understand the topic. While on the other hand, if online meetings are not being held, students will have hard time to understand and it will never work effectively, so it will also lead to learning loss. So, in conclusion, aside from the four reasons, the main cause and the main concern for the blended method of offline and online learning is to prevent learning loss in the short or long term. It also helps to give an opportunity to students who live in the rural areas to encourage their education to a higher level for their bright future. Imagine if they experience learning loss all the time. Blended learning aims for Indonesia to have the best and qualified human resources as the next generation. So as a youth, we should support to each other and to become a long life learner.